I'm more of a substitute myself, but I'm here, Alex. Thank you very much. The first game of the day, it is going to be Big versus HellRaisers. Harry, we're jumping right into things. We wait for no one on this pistol round. HellRaisers setting up for a quick B play with 2, but the bomb, notice on that minimap, is in the palace, and Big have over-rotated.
Yeah, this is the iconic you go B, I'll plant A strategy, and right now it looks like it might actually yield some results here for the HellRaisers side of things. They found all the kills at B, and Big is still here, still fighting this, not aware that this bomb is down. Have towards the A side of things. They want to try and deal with that flank, right? But the problem is, you know, you've over-rotated, you realize you're kind of screwed in that situation.
You may as well finish off those B players before you even go and consider A, because if you try and jump on that bomb, you're going to have players wrapping from your market side. It doesn't help as well when Lau gets 3 entry kills towards that B site with the Glock. Typically, when you're going for that kind of setup, you're hoping for the heavy rotation, and you're really, in your head, relying on those 2 Palace players to clutch out the round for HellRaisers in the post plant. But no need when the Spaniard finds 3 on the bomb side. It's HellRaisers to start things off on their map pick of Mirage. Obviously said they don't really have a map pool yet, but Mirage, pretty easy map to just jump in and pug. Let's see if they've got a game for us ahead of us. It's Angel to open up this round. Heavy rifles for HellRaisers, 4 of them in round number 2, and they're dealing with USP, so it will be as clean as can be. Oscar with 1 rather. It's Lau taking the double once again here for HellRaisers, and looking like a nice quick round to get rid of these pistols.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, you look at this HellRaisers squad, and I think one of the issues that Big are going to have coming into this is they're a team that obviously like to do a lot of their homework. They like to anti-strat their opponents, right? Yeah. And you can't really do that with this HellRaisers squad. It's an entirely new squad, so you really don't have anything to go off. And then as well, you look at it and you look at the names in this squad. A lot of these are the kind of guys that were left behind, but have always had a lot of potential, right? And they're the ones, you know, whether it's been cut from Mouse Sports, whether you're LOL, and, you know, ever since your original, you know, tearing that Mouse Sports roster, you never really found any success, right? Or Nuki, obviously, who's had some history, you know, moving up with teams like the Imperial and things like that. I think these are all guys that are very, very hungry to show that they still have what it takes to compete at an international level.
I think this is a really good roster, and I'm super excited to see it in the Pro League. I know we've only got 3 days of HellRaisers here, and, you know, anything is possible considering the fact that it's a new team. They could, you know, fall out doing nothing. They could really impress us, but, you know, in the long term, I can't wait to see what this roster can bring us. I think Laul and Nuki are really good additions, but obviously, you know, as well as Oscar, I'm not jumping on any one side, but no. we know what we're getting with Oscar. That's the thing. We've seen him, you know, at the top level very recently. I think maybe this round isn't live, as HellRaisers are just chilling in spawn.
There's an awful lot of typing, isn't there?
I think Oscar's mouse may be having problems because he just shook around a little bit, but that's fine. It gives us more time to theory craft and chat about this team. You know, Big, obviously, a little bit underwhelming in these past few months.
Yeah, and you know, when I first saw this squad, right, obviously they bring in the likes of Zentaras, they have Tabson in the team, you've got Godby at the helm. It felt like finally we could have a big squad that would deliver maybe some more consistent results, but if anything, they've been consistently pretty poor as of late, right? That's certainly not the standard I think that Big were hoping to achieve. I know they put a lot of pressure on themselves. You know, they know that they're a team that should be doing well. I think they shy away from the fact that they've been struggling, right? That's something I do like about this Big roster is you'll note in any interview they ever give, they're very forthright, right? They really do like lay their cards on the table. They're not just going to come in and give you the, we just play our own game and we're not really playing that well at the minute, right? They'll give you like a nice intricate rundown of what's going on in the team.
And it's always been a problem for Big. I mean, you know, just trying to find that 5th player, trying to find the right guy that slots in the role. You know, we had Smooya there at one point and, you know, that clearly didn't work out, at least from his side of things. He didn't seem satisfied with, you know, him playing in the team. And now we have Zentaras, obviously, you know, moving the AWP role to Tabson. That's a whole other question mark as well, because we know Tabson can AWP at a very high level, but at the same time, it's the argument of, you know, Tabson's also the best rifler.
No, yeah, exactly. So that's always been my problem with having Tabson on that AWP, right, is I feel like some games it definitely works out for them, but when it doesn't, it's very glaringly obvious that it's not working. And it does feel like, you know, Tabson, if you recall, right, when this Big roster kind of first came around, he was just the guy who in every game was almost like the simple of this team, right? He would just be dropping like 30 kills, And it doesn't feel like we've seen tabseN in that same form in a long while. You know, while he is still someone who puts up big numbers, and you could argue, right, okay, but maybe that's a good thing that it's more of a team effort. But like, you know, I just think tabseN before was so clean on those rifles. And so giving him that AWP role, another thing is, right, Smooya, when he was in this squad, was just a loose cannon, right? You know, he could just say, I'm going to go do this. It's pretty dumb, but it might work. And sometimes it did, right? And now it kind of feels like they're lacking that. You know, Xantares, obviously, they've made it kind of public, their problems communicating with him. You know, mid-round is where, like, the problems maybe arise. And so that's why I think we've seen more of a buddy system between Godby and Xantares. But this somewhat draws Godby away from the rest of the squad, right? He's no longer there in the front lines with the rest of the team.
Basically, there's a lot of potential problems for this big roster, and we're really hoping that they can, you know, pull things together. And in these last few weeks of practice, they've had some time to, you know, just iron out the kinks, Harry, and come in feeling fresh into this season of Pro League. Because again, you know, looking at the teams in Group D, Astralis, 3D Max, HellRaisers, and Big, you would like to say that Big and HellRaisers are going to be those 2 and 3 spots. Yeah. Not sure what order.
Group D very much feels like it should, if all goes to plan, it should be the battle for 2nd and 3rd place, right? You're not playing to win the group, I don't think, just because Astralis have looked so deadly. All with the exception, obviously, of Miami, which I think, you know, we can put a bit of an asterisk by,
Best
right? Yeah, I think that's fair enough to say. So I feel like this is very much a group where it's more playing to not lose than it is playing to win.
But how do you win, Harry? You win by not losing, so I guess it all kind of works out. It
all goes around, comes around in the end.
Yeah.
And I hear buying. The players, they've just inched a few centimeters closer to these monitors.
That's when you know that they're ready to game, Harry.
I mean, Lowell, he's readjusted his glasses. He's propped himself up.
Booster seats are out for the likes of HellRaisers, and we have been boosted into this round, Harry. Big with that first buy of the CT side, taking into account, of course, it is a 3rd round buy as opposed to the 4th, so they will have limitations. No kits, no utility, really. And HellRaisers are still running their quote-unquote bonus round, but with 1 Mac 10 and 4 rifles, I wouldn't call it bonus any day of the week. They're back to an A-side smoke setup. That was the game plan prior to the pause. Looks like they don't want to change it. Big have no idea. 2 players on this A site will be set up for retake here, but again, coming down to having no kits, a retake setup is not what you want if you're going to be Big.
No, definitely not. And HellRaisers are already deep within this bomb site, so now you're kind of relying that some of these kills can come through if you are Big. There's Xantares delivering one, and with it, he's denied the bomb plant. So this is going to buy crucial time for the Big squad to rotate in. Issa has reclaimed the kill, and Angel's in with another. These CT players are getting picked apart for Big while they had the man advantage early on. Now, that sides with HellRaisers in a pretty big way. Oscar's going to extend it even further, and this leaves just Tizian and tabseN on the receiving end of things, but they will at least convert it back to a 2-on-2. And with 2 smokes, this isn't impossible for Big.
Yeah, you got your best player and your clutch player in this 2-on-2. It's certainly winnable, but the issue is they need to get on that bomb soon. That smoke's already starting to tick away, and Yuki's got a great angle to catch the player by the stairs. Not going to get the kill. They're off the bomb, though, and again, he needs to peek out and stop this. Tizian, low HP, finished off now. Sticking the defuse is tabseN, but I don't think he's won it. He gets the kill, knowing he's going to be peaked, but 4 kills for tabseN and no round for Big. It's HellRaisers to take their 3rd. And of course, still with money to play for, so no worries that they actually lost everyone there. It's just going to hurt Big, who might be tempted to force buy up into this round, but considering HellRaisers have $6,000 per player, the AWP, all AKs, it would be a bit of a kerfuffle if Big did, so they won't. Half buy, pistols and armor, try and have something to play with around this 1 rifle, but you're really looking to that 5th round buy.
Oh, well, the Hero Org is already going to claim a life down here in middle. It will make its presence known over in the connector, so that gets smoked off now by Lowell. Now that gun, not in a spot where it's retrievable for Big, but could definitely look to grab it later on in the round. It looks like this should be a B play from HellRaisers with a man up in the apartments, but they actually start to back Angel away from B. So perhaps having a change of heart here, or maybe even considering that they've wrapped T-spawn and have grabbed the bomb, which of course Big have not. So taken some time to clear that. Now they've got the bomb on their back, and they're going to move into mid with the rest of the HellRaisers squad. All 4 players grouped up in this area of the map. And tabseN now getting boosted up on short. The last time they saw this org, it was over at this A bomb site, and now it's shut down another. Isa's going to try and trade this back, and he'll find a double. So he might have done enough. The A bomb site is now open for business, but this bomb might actually rotate away. GobB gonna go unchecked. This leaves Lowell and Angel 2-on-2, and they still have to clear Xantares out of CT, and they're not going to. He's shut down Lowell. Angel's now left in the 1v2. 25 seconds left, and he still has this man in the bomb site to try and deal with.
Oh, Angel just dodges that player up in the window room as well. The flash is perfect, though, and Angel's blind, and Xantares now knows his position. He's got to go out, but GobB's holding the cross. 15 seconds to play for. Angel had no time, no chance. It's a 2-on-1 shut down by Big. I love that mid-round boost from tabseN. Like you said, that org initially getting spotted in the connector. Big decide to immediately rotate that. That's what you want to do when you're running solo rifle into a round like this. Try and keep HellRaisers guessing. They slow down, they go for that con split, and then after Issa gets 2 picks towards B, that was where things really fell apart for HellRaisers, because they got baited into pushing that site, left A, Issa goes down within B, and then it all falls apart. So Big, with a little cheeky B stack, will pick up their first round with pistols. HellRaisers now donning 2 of their own, 3 rifles with smokes, but that's the only utility here. So Big certainly in a strong position to make this 3-0 lead a bit closer. Xantares up in the connector. We'll be watching the top and middle. It's actually tabseN with the AWP in underpass. Gets himself a kill. Doubles it as Issa comes in through top side. So tabseN is shutting down this round. We wondered if the solo AWP would be strong for Big in this series, and certainly showing to. 3 kills. HellRaisers now clawing, desperate, into this B bomb site. Their only saving grace is that it's just next here.
Oh, but that might be easier said than done to deal with the lone gunman inside of B. Next just posted up at short, and now with this rotation on round, Oscar is going to be hard-pressed to find anything. He gets shut down. Big back in with a second. And HellRaisers, while they might have gotten off to a blinding start, they might have gone 3-0 up, really should have been 4-0, considering there was just that 1 hero rifle in the round prior. This is already a good recovery from Big here. Yeah. We're already seeing that AWP yielding some results. They've finally broken down the HellRaisers economy. So this is a chance for Big to tie things up nice and early.
Yeah, like you said, should have been a 4-0. Could have been a 4-0, but HellRaisers going to be kicking themselves that they let it slip. It's full Glocks here. They've got nothing in this round. We'll note as well that when Oscar died in that rifle round in top mid, we did see Nuki pick up the AWP just for a little bit. So definitely keep your eyes on that secondary AWP player for the side of HellRaisers. Has had a fair share of experience with that weapon, even though he's not necessarily the sole holder of that within this squad. HellRaisers have been given mid almost every round in this map, but it's the connector and the short area where they're starting to have problems. Xantares is showing them why, already picking up 1, but the Glocks do overwhelm him. That's a gun drop. There's a boost in window that's allowed HellRaisers to split this A site, and Tizian spots it once again. Angel doesn't catch him. In the meantime, Big get aggressive, but that bomb is still dropped in the apartments, and HellRaisers are not going to be able to play for it. They may as well just try and frag out, because with still 2 Glocks, the spawn being covered, Angel going to get picked off. This solo AK from Issa has to try and save the round, and he might be able to get towards B, but now he's going to be heard by GobB.
Oh. tabseN really caught some air there. Nuki's going to get dealt with down at the ramp, and yet Issa doesn't have armor behind this AK, so really isn't hoping to get all too much done. Will tap down GobB, but the other man over at short next able to mop that one up and stop things getting out of hand. So we will see the scoreline go tied up early on here. And obviously in that little pre-game interview, we spoke to LMBT, and he said how they don't really have very high expectations coming into the Pro League.
That's interesting.
Yeah, right? Because I still think, you look at this group, you look at the fact that you've got X3D Max in here, who, on paper, I feel like, just pound for pound, HellRaisers should feel, better than.
Big have been throwing this top mid smoke. It's not the traditional Astralis one in the back right corner, which is a walk throw. It's actually one that got B's throwing that I've not seen before to cut HellRaisers out of top mid. Now, they've not been capitalizing on it, but finally HellRaisers just going to charge through this mid smoke and again take it for free. There's no one here for Big. Tizian's up close on the ramp. We've got this AWP as well on tabs, and that's aggressive in the Palace in the meantime. Xantares just watches for the window boost as that's been smoked off. It gives HellRaisers the room to get up catwalk, but if they do, GodB's on the other side. He spots them. Good jump from Issy. He gets the info and forces GodB off the angle. Molotov going down, but HellRaisers in the meantime sneaking a play out of ramp.
Nuki has to check under Palace, or else he is mincemeat. Sneaking into Sandwich right now. Tizian just homing his sights in on this this safe angle. Tabson has wrapped all the way through Palace, and he's going to catch LOL. Now that they spot the Palace man, they're quick to execute into the A-bomb site, comfortable in the knowledge that it should be a little bit weaker on the back of this Palace aggression. Issa's posted himself up in the ladder room to try and cut off these rotations, and he could be such a nuisance to Big. Even if all he does is find GodB, the bomb is, I thought it was planted open, but actually no, it looks like it's planted CT side. Yeah. So maybe not going to come in all too handy. GodB shutting down Issa. He gets caught off guard trying to wrap in through mid, and timing's just a little bit off there. Tapson will at least get dropped down at the ramp, but Xantares finds himself a quick double seemingly from nowhere, and now it is just Nuki left standing. He has to deny this bomb plant, or defuse rather. Gets the first man off, but it's immediately traded by GodB, and Big are going to take the lead here, moving 4-3 up.
Yeah, some nice retaking so far, and you know, a strong position from GodB as well, having the lockdown onto short, late into mid, takes down Issa. I will say as well that bomb plant going down, not exactly what HellRaisers wanted. They did have only Nuki for it, and of course, I think it was Angel within the CT spawn to some extent, but he was being pushed off. So, HellRaisers, who earlier pushed from the A side connector, I definitely feel like could have benefited from a more open plant. That being said, it won't make a huge amount of difference. It is still going to be the retake for Big. And the AWP, again, opening kill after opening kill for Tabson. This time he'll find Oscar. Wielding a scout no longer, though, as HellRaisers set up for this A play. They have pistols and smokes. Only one player on A for Big, and they're aggressively pushed. It's Tizian close on the ramp, waiting for contact. Xantares going towards the underpass as well, and I like how confident Big are. They're getting aggressive, they're getting this information and map control. They've cleared out, or will about to be clearing out the B apartments here, with not only Tabson and Xantares getting aggressive, and this should give them the call that A is likely the play. The rotate already in. Look at Big on the minimap. GodB and Nex coming towards this bomb site, and now HellRaisers is setting up for the execute or walking into a trap.
Yeah, they don't know it, but on the other side of these smokes, as they rain on in, there will be so many players for Big. Next already posted up inside of the bomb site. Tizian alongside him, and Tizian and Next making quick work of this A-side play. Everyone at ramp is gone, and this leaves Nuki alone. He'll get finished off as well. A flawless round from the big boys as they move into a convincing lead now, building up the cash over on the CT side, and that is the most worrying prospect if you're HellRaisers, almost definitely. As we saw countless times back in Group C, a team that was maybe heavily in the lead at one point in time can get reset pretty easily as long as you're bringing the rounds close, and HellRaisers haven't really had a close round since those first three they were able to put up.
Yeah. And yeah, that new economy has certainly started to look a little bit out of control. I personally don't like it. I've now come to that conclusion.
Yeah, no,
I prefer the old money. I like the fact that resets are gone to some extent, because I think it did create too many pistol rounds, but I don't like the way that it's broken and the way the loss bonus stacks.
If you capped the stack at just max loss bonus, insta-fix, like you're sorted, you're fine. But it does feel weird, because sometimes, like,
it can get out of control.
The way that it's really messed up is if you're a team that's maybe, like, behind in the first half, but then you start to pull it back in the second, you can actually then be at a disadvantage to a team that is even in the lead just based on the fact that you've got a few more rounds than them in one half.
It's like getting bullet bill when you're in 12th place and rocking up to third, Harry. It's not very acceptable.
No, it's not. It's screwed, man. The Mario Kart mentality. And it's a shameless one at that. But this strat, Angel's been pretty shameless. He's fast aggroed and found a man. Zintare's already dropped from this round. And Nuki, once again, out from ramp. Tizian's gone aggressive in Palace. These two just keep on missing one another. And this A bomb site has fallen. Big currently have no idea. And now that bomb plant starts to come in, these rotations have to come through. And if you're HellRaisers, you're very much anticipating this Palace flank, rather, that you have seen in the last few of these rounds from the Big squad. Big aren't even moving. They're looking like they're just going to save in this one.
Yeah, they have no stake in this round. That's the issue. No early pick. They lost the first fight. They lost the bomb site, and they have no real info. And as you said, you know, they are aware that HellRaisers know they're on this ramp flank, or at least should be. No one's watching it right now, but no retake is coming through for Big, so it's looking like a 4-man save. It does at least keep the economy intact. Interesting decision considering Big had money, and they've been pretty good on these retakes, but maybe not wanting to fight up against 5 from HellRaisers. Those guns getting saved, and 9 players surviving that round. Not the most common of sights. I definitely want to try and keep our eyes on God B at the start of the rounds to see the smoke that he's throwing over top middle, because I want to know the lineup, personally. And see how much faster it is, because obviously the one that Astralis throw requires a different spawn. tabseN just did it in that round. I think it went over. Yeah, it did. So cutting HellRaisers out of mid, and look at Big playing off the back of it. Zintare's is going to run right out through window, get a pick, open up. Is is dead. Angel tries to come through that smoke that has got a bit of a gap in the backside of it. That's not purpose. So HellRaisers got to be careful. Oscar, great shot to Tizian, does trade back that early advantage that Big did take from middle, and now looking to send this bomb back towards the A side of things. Nuki having to run back through the Molotov. That was nice and deep. So he takes 25 damage on the way out. Oscar gets flashed off as well. Big have read this well. They've committed 3 players to this A bomb site off the back of this early pick, and HellRaisers is now going to be walking into somewhat of a stack.
Oh, God B deciding now to try and probe this ramp portion, and this could come back to punish him here if he's not quick about dropping this smoke. He spots the first man, smoke down, but now they know he's close. They try and pressure him through it. And Lowell is able to delete him. That nade finds even more damage onto the Spaniard down at ramp. And now these nades going in, it should be very telegraphed to Big at this point in time where the players looking to end up. 40 seconds left on this clock, and HellRaisers maybe trying to place that seed of doubt in the mind of Big. The only issue is with players tagged down low, they're very open to this utility as Lowell finds out there. Next able to nade him down. And now these defensive smokes that HellRaisers had have faded, so they don't have any way of keeping players off the angle. The bomb gets thrown over onto Nuki, and Oscar's just got to watch CT. Uh-oh, now that he's missed that shot, Nex tries to take the peek. Isn't able to find anything from it, but it's Zintare's to shut down the first man. They know that Oscar's here. They've got him trapped. So he tries to exit, but Zintare's is looking crisp in this map. He's going to find 3 in that round there.
That is infuriating to play against, Harry. If I'm HellRaisers, I'm mad after that round. Big not giving them anything there in that 3-on-2, and you could see they were so focusing on Nex in the CT spawn. Just his presence alone is enough to take the attention of both HellRaisers players within the bomb site and allow those 2 CTs to set up con side with the Molotov. So yeah, poor HellRaisers. They just get boxed into the bomb site there, walking into the stack. And well read from Big again, who had that man advantage early within that round. It was traded by Oscar, but still round conversion off the back of it. 6-4 here on the CT side, keeping it close at least. What's not close is the money. Certainly looking more favourable for Big, but look at this round from HellRaisers. No fear from Angel. He just jumps out onto the A site. Tizian gets caught with a wallbang. Angel down to half, but he gets the opening kill. And HellRaisers again can just take this bomb site. Big, we've seen them keen to save in the past. Will this round set them up the same? tabseN should know Issa's here, and that kill will open up the possibility for a retake.
Yeah, definitely looking tempted now. Our Big Flash is raiding in from jungle. Nuki is actually team flashed off the angle, but no one from Big able to capitalize. And with God B still watching this ramp round, maybe anticipating that we're going to see a player try and go for it from the HellRaisers squad. But next, okay, now Big are definitely interested in going for this round. Zintare's in with another. This bomb is ticking away from them. They have to pick up the pace a bit, but Have to get on it. They've got to get on this bomb, and there is a man trying to stick it. Oscar's getting burnt out. He finds the first, and Xantares is gone. The round's been stripped away. Oscar, that is filth. And HellRaisers, they're going to be on to another round.
That was like 1 second on that defuse, Harry. Xantares had it in the bag, but through the smoke, Oscar finding that shot. And what a way to save HellRaisers there in that round. This is going to keep the game nice and close, Harry, because Big, no chance to run away with this one when HellRaisers are keeping you on your toes. What a shot that was. Not something that can be calculated at all. And a nice try on the retake from Big. It looked surely, in their clasp, but falling apart in the last few seconds. A shot through the smoke, so it saves HellRaisers and keeps his score to 5 on the T side now. Big, of course, still plenty of money to buy up. We're seeing a tactical pause here. HellRaisers taking use of that one very early on. Clearly some discussion with that round, maybe with the post plant, because it was falling apart initially until Oscar, really bailed them out of that one. So Big, still a bit of money to play with. This will be their last buy for now, though, as HellRaisers look to crunch the cash on this T side. And already, Harry, this game is setting us up for a real series, a real 3-mapper, I think, with some close maps in between. This is looking like a pretty equal squad, or equal couple of squads. Ooh.
And this time, that attempted aggression from Xantares comes in, but once again, they're betrayed by that gap in the smoke in top mid.
I think it was purpose, because they tried to throw a Molotov behind it to cut it up. So I think it's just Big taking advantage of a faster smoke throw that lands quicker, so the T's can't get out, and then doubling it up with a molly. But the molly missed and actually got extinguished within the smoke.
Yeah, so maybe a schoolboy error there from the Big side. The East is up in connector, although only briefly before he's cut down by Tizian. Does get away with a lot of damage, but we're still into this 4-on-4 now. Angel's starting to aggress up through the connector. Trying to bait the short peek from God B, but he's not going to get baited into it. Instead, just holding his own. That nade might find Oscar, and it will. He's been slam dunked. So many players brought down low on the Big side of things, but the kills just aren't coming through. And as LOL now looks to hit this B bomb site, will he anticipate God B repositioning? No, he won't. So in the blink of an eye, it's Angel left alone, and tabseN shuts him down. 17 kills on tabseN right now. He is having one hell of a game. I kind of, was saying that we haven't really seen those classic tabseN performances that we've missed. We're getting one right now.
Yeah, back to that offline environment, Harry, where tabseN feels most at home. And Big, they are certainly starting things off here on the CT side very well. It was that was a swing round right there. That was going to decide the half, because HellRaisers could have broken the money of Big. If anything, it goes the other way now. CT's picking it up, and HellRaisers on 2K a player. They've got to play Glocks. Molly to deny a window smoke. Big, they always want this mid control, and they will get it for free this time. HellRaisers can't contest with the pistols they have, but they can look for an opening D shot. Nuki tries to take down Xantares, but is not given the second chance. It's taking his into the B apartments as well. 3 P250s are lurking, waiting for these Deeks to get an opening, to set these pistols up for a faster approach. Angel, bomb dropped. Nice shot from tabseN. He's on 19 kills now, and making absolute mincemeat until he gets shut down by the P250. Still not going to be a worry, though, for Big, who have a clean round in their hand. Nuki going to walk out onto the A site. It's just about catching this timing. He does. Tizian jumping up on top of the ladder, or the ticket, rather. And HellRaisers, they're not going to win this round, but they're certainly making it costly for Big.
Yeah, and for HellRaisers, that could be enough, right? If they find one more kill in this round, then you have started to chip away at some of the money that the Big camp has. And Nuki and Laul out here in mid. They've retrieved the bomb at the very least, and there might be a weapon nearby down here at the bottom of mid that they could look to get. The issue is Xantares timing that peek well. Might be able to shut down both of these players at the bottom of mid, and indeed he will. Laul gets hit by the full effect of that flash, actually turns right into it. And so Big, moving up 8-5. You think about the start that HellRaisers had, right? They went 3-0 up initially. Since then, they've managed 2 rounds
Who was shouting Xantaras there? I didn't catch that. Oh. Big as entertaining as always. 8-5 up. There's the smoke. You aim above that little green sign and jump through, seems. Keep that in mind for later. And there it is, perfectly. Cutting HellRaisers out of middle. It's so nice because the one that Astralis throws is very spawn dependent and can also take a bit of time to land. HellRaisers now setting up outside of B, going back for their pistol play, the fast rush here. No mollies to stop it. Gob does throw a nade out, but it's next to make first contact here at the back of the site. Gob just waiting for them to cross towards him, but next peeks out wide, and Issa could double it. He won't. Gob 10 points of health here, trying to stand tall, but he'll fall to Oscar eventually. That's the 3-on-3 caved open as HellRaisers now own B.
They've got no utility left though, so they are relying on aim and aim alone. Oscar was able to retrieve a smoke from one of the deceased players inside of B. He's dropped that over in the window, so that will actually tick some time off the clock that Big have to work with. Xantaras emerging from short, and Tabson's already been shut down, but Tizian might have tempted them to go for this. Xantaras finds a lot of damage, but Oscar and Nuki able to hold their own in the 2v2. That will be a sick throw for HellRaisers banked up. The fast B play working in spite of Gob and Nex's best efforts there. So now as we approach the last round of the half, an 8-7 still very much a possibility here for HellRaisers, and that's not too shabby over on the T side of things. This buy from Big certainly has its limitations, but Tabson might look to jumpstart this round for Big. A lot of aggression down here towards Connector, and Xantaras actually gets trapped by that Molotov. He had to run through it, down to just 5 points of health. Nuki continuing with this ramp aggression. We've seen him do time and time again. Just has to check the close angle, and he'll get that kill almost for free. Even able to double up. He finds Tizian, and now what was looking like a nice start for Big in this round has all turned sour. Gob up on short, trying to shut down this play. But he's missed every timing in the world there.
Yeah, that smoke was a bit of a problem cotton side for Gob, who will get caught coming back through ladder. They hear that one. So HellRaisers 4-on-2. Big have to retake its last round of the half, but they've got no real chance to do so. No kit. And, I mean, the bomb's not even down yet. HellRaisers are just taking fights, and they're fine with trading their way to a victory here. A 7th round potentially on this half as Tabson looks to 1v3. He has an AWP. Low HP, though. Surely this one's not doable, but no one's covering him. Yes, they are. From the top of the palace, Nuki gets dropped. HellRaisers need to be very careful here. They don't want to give away this supposed free round. Tabson now coming con side. Just a crossfire between Oscar and Issa as they wait for this contact. Flash is good. Oscar, missed shot, uncharacteristically so. Gives Tabson the opportunity, and he might be able to find the wallbang. It's very, very close, but yet no connection. Oscar getting a second chance at life, and he'll get a second shot. It will connect. It's HellRaisers taking 7 in the half. Good half from them on the T side, but Big still look damn dangerous. It's going to be a real fight for first place in this first map of Mirage. So do join us for that second half in just a moment. We'll be back after the break.
On my own, when you spill that ramen coke on my t-shirt, yeah, your eyes made it difficult to get my baby. And the next thing I knew, we were so We shared a cigarette by East Versailles. The way you looked at me, couldn't say goodbye. And whatever you did to make it stop, 'cause baby you make me feel something. And the next thing I knew, we were so ready to give in, skin to skin on that baseline. Ooh, you give me that high pitch feel, baby. We shared a cigarette by East Versailles. The way you looked at me, couldn't say goodbye. And whatever you did to make it stop, 'cause baby you make me feel something.
And we are split right down the middle at the end of the first half here. And, you know, right now, Big, having that 8-7 scoreline over the HellRaisers, nice recovery towards the end from the HR squad to salvage a very much split half across the board.
A very much split half.
A very much split half.
Definitely doable.
Very split, overly split, some could say, 250-50.
They've certainly got a chance to maybe win this game, potentially.
Perhaps.
If they're lucky and skilled. And we're going to find out, Harry, as we get into this one. Second half between Big and HellRaisers. Big still favoured over on Betway, but let's see if they can put their money where their mouth is, Harry. Setting up towards ramp on the T side. Bomb here as well. Godby and Tizian, smoke players here for Big. It's a slow default. They don't want to go immediately for the A play, and the reason being is, you know, if you think back to the HellRaisers round where they just set up on eco, 5 players on ramp, and 30 seconds in, Big had pushed B apps, they pushed mid, they pushed everything, and they were flanking it onto A. So Big don't want the same fate. They'd rather default and then go back into this late round A play. That they will. Godby and Tizian setting up these smokes. And only Nuki and Issa here to hold off. But there is a kit on Lal. He'll be that long B-rotate player, and HellRaisers are certainly going to need it.
Yeah, Nuki and Issa really have their work cut out for them. Notably, Nuki, as he's inside of the A-bomb site alone, and he gets bested almost immediately. For HR now, having to try and aggress through the murder hole. Not a fight that you ever really hope to win if you are on the HR side of things. And Oscar now thrust into this 1v3 on the back of losing his teammates over in jungle. Got a lot to do and not a lot of time to do it, and he does have that kit to work with at the very least, and he spots Godby down on the ramp. He'll deal with him, smoke down on the bomb to try and bait these peaks, and actually, he's sticking it. Tizian's not aware. Uh-oh, Oscar's done it again. Yeah, they get the knife, but was it worth it?
No, is the answer, because he just lost a pistol around Harry. What a way to get back into the game if you're HellRaisers. Oscar shuts down Xantares doing the same thing in the first half on a huge round. And in the pistol of the second half, he gets a 1v3 with a 1v2 defuse on that cards. Very unfortunate for Big, but this has now given us quite a cracking game, Harry. 8-8 the score as HellRaisers start things off on their second half.
Yeah, now the question becomes, right, for the Big side of things, with getting that knife kill, with getting the bomb down, do we see a force buy here? I imagine we do. I imagine that's what the tactical pause could be about. And I hear some investment. I don't know who's buying it up, but I hear things being bought. I can tell, Hugo. And we do see the force buy. But I like this. They've still got money to invest in the following round. We had Tizian, the man who got the knife kill, drop an AK over. He's fully invested into this one. He's the only man to stick all of his cash into it. So yeah, he'll be limited in the following round, but they still have a good chance of finding success here. And look at this aggression from HellRaisers. All 4 players clearing out ramp and Palace. And while this is a lot to dedicate towards one side of the map early, they can afford to do so. Big are playing a slow round themselves, slowly aggressing down through mid. Now, if they decided to just blitz their way up through connector here, they could find a rather empty A bomb site, but they've taken their time. And this flank from Angel could just tear this entire round apart for Big.
The issue is what read the HellRaisers have, because they're heavy rotating B, but as you said, Con could be a factor, it won't be Big. Setting up for the B play, Angel catches God B at lower mid, and now they know they're being flanked, now they know they're being boxed in, but they've got to go anyway. Xantares opening up, and now the B site looking to be pushed here by the side of Big. Great entry, Xantares has found 3. Where has that come from? Off of the back of the CZ as well, at range. He's making this round a reality for Big, and he might not be done as well. Nuki's in the bomb site, but Tizian's found a gun to get rid of him. And now Lau stuck in a 1-on-4. Where's this? What's happened here? Is probably what he's asking, and he's not going to be asking it for too much longer because he's dead. 4 kills for Xantares, and Big upset with the force buy.
What a round! You have the hero AK on Tabson, but the real hero is Xantares with the CZ. I don't know how he gets 3 kills with it and doesn't run out of ammo. I barely have enough to get 1 kill in the CZ, mate. But yeah, no, he is lighting up the server. These shots were pristine.
Very clean.
And with Xantares now showing this form alongside Tabson, this could be the little recipe to success that Big need, right? They're the 2 names that we look to step up in this squad, and they are certainly delivering early on.
HellRaisers don't really have the weaponry for a response either. 1 SMG, 1 Scout, 3 pistols. Not what you want to show against 4 rifles. And Big will take it nice and slow. Oh, there's a dink. Oscar getting tagged through the corner of the wall. Xantares holding the top of middle. So no real info game from HellRaisers out of that top mid push, but they are going to get met with a full A play. 3 CTs on the other side. Big setting up their smokes once again, just to keep it nice and simple. Got to watch those smoke defuses though. HellRaisers could certainly go for them, but with no kit and limited utility, it's not looking likely. Is going to get caught here looking the wrong way, and Xantares another opening kill, of course, making this round happen for Big. Nuki's close on the ramp, and he's going to get dealt a rough one. Tizian coming through with a flashbang from Tabson, and it is a clean entry to the bomb site, looking very, very easy right now for Big. Xantares with another one, and no one from HellRaisers is even finding damage here to the Germans.
Yeah, not even a stray bullet, not even a point of damage from a nade. There is nothing coming through for HR in this round, and Big, they are going to be feeling very happy about that as they charge on forward 2 double digits. Able to keep everyone alive as well. And these 2 saving players for HellRaisers, while it does give them a bit more to fight with in the next round, an MP9 and a 5-7 is certainly not the go-to save if you are the HR squad.
No, not what you want, especially with Big starting to take a bit of a lead here, Harry. It was an 8-7 going into the first half, or second half rather, but with HellRaisers taking pistol, I imagine they could start to get on the, get the groove going on this CT side where they would be favored, but Big with a massive upset round, and now off the back of it, they have propelled themselves in the lead by 2, 10-8 for the Germans. And HellRaisers are starting to get a little bit worried here, maybe quaking in their boots. It's still going to be no money for them. They've got to eco 1 more round around these 2 saved pistols and SMGs. And they won't have a buy until 11-8. At that point, they are starting to run out of time. So pressure really is on here for HellRaisers, especially considering it's their map pick.
Yeah, most definitely right. With Train in the runnings next, that's been one of the only maps that this Big roster has really been able to find any consistency on as of late. So certainly a worrying sign of the times. That said, for HR, we don't really know what their map pool is yet. And Oscar, he has had a very good series, and he was someone who always looked very at home on a map like Train in that old Mouse Sports roster. Yeah. So, you do have things you can look towards over in the HR side of things in that second map, but this does feel like an important victory for them on their map pick. And it's one that could potentially elude them unless we see a bit of a change. Big should be securing an 11th round here unless Angel or Lowell is able to do something spectacular with this saved bit of armor and the weapons that come with it. But a slow round from Big, not going to give anything up early on as they just hide away right now, maintaining this mid control, waiting to see if anyone on the HR side of things meanders into their crosshairs. And they won't do so. So likely around about a minute on the clock, we see these smokes go out and then the play look to come through. They now get thrown in now, and that's going to land up in top con, so they can actually look to push players into the connector if they would like. That's going to be the worry in the back of Big's mind. The real play about to come through into this B bomb set, and they've already doubled up. They've already found most of the defenders here, all with the exception of Lol, who did hold on to this MP9. Can he now find anything with it? He will get the first man. And now they know the whereabouts of this one saved SMG, but how much more can you expect the MP9 to deliver? Right now, Lol is doing a fantastic job of buying time, but it is just delaying the inevitable. That bomb goes down, Nuki left in the 1v3, and they'll finish him off as well. Big continuing to find success. They very easily roll over that partial, not even partial investment, just the saved weapons that were brought forward. But now we get to see the real buy from HR.
Such a methodical round from Big there. If you take a look at all the small details, the way they get into those bomb sites with their utility is fantastic, right? They take a slow mid, they cut off the con side, flash their players up into ladder room, get a pick, they molly car from B apartments, clear out all those close positions where pistols could be so prominent, and then just split the B bomb site from two ways. Nice round from Big. But this has got to be the saving grace for HellRaisers, that AWP that we've been waiting to see in the second half. Oscar, as you said, great start to this game. But can he keep it up across both sides? Because right now, Big are looking to be quite the nuisance. Tabson's on his AWP as well. Oscar's gone in towards his B site. Triple B setup for HellRaisers. But it is going to be empty right now. Big have no one here. So this early rotate of Angel off is going to be the right call to make. Big looking to take heavy mid control early. Window smoke and con smoke going down for the likes of Big. They could split towards short off the back of this. Angel, oh, that's going to spread, buddy. You got to smoke, use it. He's going to regret that. 7 HP, not a good start. And Oscar's gone down in the apartment. Xantares is looking incredible right now.
Is Angel like secretly 90% moth or something? Like he was just looking at the fire for the longest time. I think, you know, didn't anticipate it was going to spread that far.
It climbs walls.
Yeah, no, Molotovs are terrifying, mate. They really are, but Issa might be even scarier. That said, Tizian doesn't seem too worried about him as he's opened up the A-bomb site. And for Angel and Lol, all they can really do is save here. They've been locked out of this round once again. And it does just feel like individually none of the kills are really coming through on the HR side of things. The second we see someone get one, it's instantly traded and then normally doubled up by someone on the big side of things.
Yeah, and Xantares finding a huge opener as well, right? That AWP up in the apartments, we were hoping for something from the likes of Oscar, but it just gets picked off early by the man advantage. And now on the hunt is this man, Xantares, looking for the last surviving player. Lau does get an exit with this AWP, but it's all a bit of a formality, Harry. Even if he gets away with this gun, Big are going to be up to 12 rounds. Not a comfortable spot for HellRaisers. There's the flick. Lau adding to the tally, but Tabson will finish him off. No AWP saved here for Oscar. Big are looking very, very good. Xantares, he ain't got time for your fist bumps. He's too busy fragging and washing his hands. What's he doing there? Got a nice little blanket.
I don't think it's a hand blanket.
He was keeping his mouth dry, Harry. You know, sweat gets everywhere.
No, yeah, exactly.
All the nooks and crannies.
I feel pretty blessed that I'm not a very sweaty palm guy. Because you often see the pros sitting there, you know, with like towels by them, ready to demoisten at a moment's notice. Is that the word for it? I don't know.
Moisten.
But yeah, moist mouse is one hell of a syndrome to have. I meant symptom, but I guess that works. Smoke into window, and Oscar's trapped on the other side of it.
He's not trapped. He can go anywhere. Like CT spawn. Or B, which is right now left open.
Your cup really runneth over if you're Oscar, right? I mean...
it's not mid.
Yeah, he will decide to float around here. Big actually to start to double back in through T-spawn now. And this is likely just going to be the A-side play. This is where HellRaisers have the majority of their players. All four here in the B bomb site with Oscar still floating in mid. So his rotation is almost instant. But these smokes that go down can lock out these players over in mid. Angel and Oscar will be locked out from the bomb site. So effectively 3 players here. We can see Angel look to barrel through, even line this nade up down onto the ramp, and that's going to find great damage. Maybe now in the back of Big's mind, they could start to consider this A stack, right? The nade's already found a lot of chip damage onto the players at ramp, but they still seem unperturbed by that nade, by the early damage, and they're just going to commit to the A side take.
Yeah, Molly down, keeps Lowell out, but he's going to get one as they get up through Tetris. These pistols proving to be more of a problem than Big anticipated. 4-man setup, and they are shutting it down. It's Nex alone. He's got to try and clutch this for the team, but 2 players peeking him at once is too much to ask for. Tabson now last man up, and he's too low. 10 HP, 10 seconds. This round is done. He's not getting a bomb plant, and the second player's already bailed out through the window to deny the kill. Tabson's got to run for the hills. What a round for HellRaisers.
Yeah, Big not anticipating that A side stack from HR, and they do get betrayed in their bravado up through ramp, right? The decision to challenge, even with that nade coming in. Obviously a rotation at that point with around about 40 seconds left. You still have time to do it, but it would have been down to the wire. And I think the worry is they start to rotate B, it takes 1 man to creep down ramp and call that it's clear, and they're going to beat you to that B bomb site, right?
And you don't know where HellRaisers are.
Yeah, exactly. So they do just decide to hedge their bets and go for the A side play.
At that point, when they were setting up for the A play as well, Oscar was actually in the B apartments. He pushed underpass. So, you know, HellRaisers actually had all the info in that 4-on-4 on the A site. However, they will not in this one. It's a 1-for-1 trade going down early on. Tizian and Angel falling. Zantara is spotted in the Palace. Issa might want to back off out of that one. It's Nuki getting aggressive on ramp and facing up against Nex as well. Oh, what a shot, but that's bomb. It's been seen. Do HellRaisers realize as they start to rotate back around? They do, but knowing is half the battle, and Big are looking to come out all over this A bomb site from 3 different sides. Palace, Con, and ramp. Oscar mollied off. Issa pushed out, and Xantares catches him from the Palace. HellRaisers getting blindsided in this round. They may have won the pistol force, but the rifles certainly haven't treated them too well.
LoL is on this wrap round. The issue they're going to have is that bomb is planted for mid, and with Tabson waiting there with the AWP, it does become a very tricky round indeed now for HR to get back into. Really relying on this flank to come in big, and Centaurus, okay, he wins that. And now LoL's probably just going to think about saving. He doesn't want to go for this anymore. So Big picking up a 13th round. At least saving this one M4 on LoL does facilitate a bye for HR into the next round. But it's going to be pretty lackluster if they decide to go for it. I feel like you can almost justify taking a partial investment here on the HR side of things.
Yeah, you got the rounds to play with at least. You know, Big's not at 14 just yet, but it's not exactly what you'll want to do at this kind of scoreline. You know you've got to win clean rifle rounds from here on out. No more excuses, no more downtime for HellRaisers. This time things are certainly going down because 13-9, Big leading by a big margin here on the second half. Definitely coming to this matchup with a game plan, maybe not knowing what to expect from HellRaisers, but just being very methodical, as we know this Big team to be. The fact that Xantares and Tabson are both having great performances as well certainly sets us up for a real series here. You know, this is round robin in this group, so everyone plays 3 best-of-3s. Every game does count, so having your stars show up at this point is so important just to get you those guaranteed early wins. 13-9, Big now have to deal with the bye again from HellRaisers. They don't opt to save for the future. Issa's now going to be on a pistol. The AWP is still here for Oscar. That being said, we've not really seen it too much in the second half, or at least not find any success. Angel again mollied in the connector. This time going to get aggressive, but it's Tizian on the other side. Does Angel realize he wants nothing to do with it? Disengages as the flashbang comes through. Tabson gets smoked down on the ramp. Can't find the blind shot through it. But there are 3 players here on A.
We saw what happened the last time Big just tried playing into this A-side crunch from HR. They did get crunched, and now maybe going to roll back to that once again. They've actually rotated that 3rd man away from A, who's now sat down in mid along with Angel to keep an eye on the lower tunnels. These smokes that rain on in for the cross. One going to fall top con and the other at jungle, so leave stairs open. Big aren't going to move on the back of it. Tizian starting now to creep out into mid. Will not anticipate the double hold here, but is still able to best Angel in that initial duel. No trade to come through from Issa, and now this A bomb site gets that much more tempting for the big boys. Nuki holding close to the ramp and Lowell inside of A. These two have to come up trumps now more than ever, or else this should be all said and done for Big in this round.
This entire time, Oscar's just been sitting on B as well, holding apartments. He's not going to have any play into this round unless he rotates here. And now, 20 seconds as the T's come through the ramp. But got B in next, double up for a couple of entries. Antares will even join the fray. And just like that, Big have just rolled over this round. 4 kills and a bomb plant for their name. Oscar wondering where it all went wrong. We've not even had him really be in a position to succeed in the second half. He's been playing that B bomb site.
Yeah, it does just feel like, you know, poor old Oscar here. He's been retaken in almost every single one of these rounds. And it's like, how much can you expect to do when you are just retaking that A bomb site?
I mean, he's not even retaking, he's saving, which is even worse.
Yeah. It's like all the disappointment of failing a retake, but without even getting to attempt the retake.
And then what happens is you die in the last 5 seconds, like every time.
I mean, let's see. He made the claim. It's a bold one.
If he goes around this corner, he will, but not looking to hunt these kills. Should get away with the AWP.
Oh, no. Don't.
I'm surprised
Whoa.
Big don't chase. I don't know why they wouldn't chase, knowing that, you know, there's an AWP on the other side. They got 10k per player. You know, you don't need to by any means. You can still shut down these rounds, but just getting aggressive and getting rid of that last gun, I think is worth it somewhat for Big. At this point, small detail that won't really make a difference. It's 14-9. HellRaisers' money has just been pulled out from underneath them, and they're going to have to be pretty desperate here in what could be the last couple of rounds of this map. Big still taking things nice and slowly here as we hit another tactical pause. And just making sure they're all on the same page.
I like it. I like the confidence we got,
yeah,
B. We will get this round. That's the words from the IGL of Big.
That's one thing I wanted to know as well. I wanted to know how much calling would be in English here, right? Because we know Xantares struggles, we know the rest of them are German, obviously, so it surely is very tempting for God B to just speak in German, you know, to the
and not
three
to
other
mention,
players.
he speaks English, German, and Turkish.
Yeah, exactly.
So he could very easily just, you know, all German to the German guys, turn to Xantares, tell him his role. Yeah, that's probably pretty easy to say. But
I don't know. How's your Turkish?
yeah, a bit rusty. Haven't had to use it for a while.
Ooh.
Ooh, Tabson gonna go blow for blow with Oscar over here in mid, and they're both hopping around, but it's Tabson to emerge victorious there. If he goes for this wallbang that we so often see players look to do as well, he maybe will even find Angel on the other side. Issa's retrieved the AWP. Now, not normally an AWPer, but he has managed 1 kill with it. Now starting a rotation over here towards B, and that is the picture-perfect call from HellRaisers, at least for the time being. There's still time for Big to change their mind, but with this lower app coming in, this could crunch onto the players up in apps, and they might be none the wiser. Timing is everything here, and Tizian decides to turn around and check it. Now on the back of killing a man down in the lower tunnels, Big might even hesitate about this B play. They hear the AWP here. Will they be ready for Lowell inside of the bomb site? Players getting close, but Issa's got his back. Tizian in with another, and now it is just Issa, the last man alive in the hot seat. The bomb is rotating away, heading back to the safety of A. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. It's going through lower tunnels. They hesitated a bit there, but it will just be the A plant for Big, leaving one man to try and shut down the AWP. They've even got Tabson waiting over in the jungle. He's gone through the murder hole, and he's hunting Issa. Map point now for Big, 15-9. And since moving on to this T side, the majority German squad have looked stellar.
27 kills on Tabson, 24 on Xantares. I mean, how do you get through that if you're HellRaisers? And that makes a big deal as well, right? Because we talk about Tabson on this AWP maybe not being what we wanted to see from Big, but if Xantares is going to be able to consistently put up these kind of performances, it takes the pressure off of Tabson to be that star rifler, and he can have more room with this AWP. And at least right now, he's out dueling HellRaisers round after round. That one shutting down Oscar in middle as he gets aggressive with the AWP. And even finishing off Issa as well, who was holding on to it in the market. It's 15 rounds to 9. It's 1 away from a victory if Big can muster the courage. And this T side has looked full of mustard indeed, Harry. HellRaisers have only taken 2, one of them being the pistol and a defuse in the smoke. Other than that, it's been a pretty dry half from the likes of HellRaisers. Experience and coordination are big, coming back to bite them. A tactical pause as HellRaisers try and have a talk to LMBT, try and work out what they want to do for this, pretty crucial round, I guess you could say.
Yeah, one of the players that I kind of feel myself feeling pretty bad for within this HR squad. One of the players who was left behind is Issa, right? Obviously, he had like that brotherhood with Woxic together. They played off of each other very well. They were very good friends outside of the server as well. And obviously we kind of see him left behind in this HR squad. Meanwhile, Woxic's got on to bigger and better things over in Mouse Sports. Was hoping to see a bit more from him in this series. He has been relatively quiet in this map. Instead, we've kind of been looking towards Lowell and Oscar as the 2 top performers of HR. But a quick technical pause as try to get this one resolved. Now, obviously, 15-9, it kind of feels like Big should be walking this one across the finish line, right? Looking to get this first map under their belts nice and early.
I feel like we are getting back into things, Harry. That little tick means the timer is going down. 15-9. HellRaisers, a great T side, but looking a little bit flat in their second half. Maybe they can show us something with this full rifle round. As Oscar on the AWP again looking to fight mid, but Big will not give him the room. These mollies and connector have been lethal. Issa with the smoke on top of it, trying to fight towards the bottom side of middle. In the meantime, Tizian gets aggressive, very much aggressive, because there's only a solo B player here, so this pick would be disastrous for HellRaisers if it did fall the way of Big. Angel's trying to rotate back in, but Lau does hold his own, getting rid of one. Next, not being able to catch that drop through the window. He gets dinked as well. Things are looking a little bit tasty for HellRaisers as they find damage into this bomb site, but there's 2 kills out of nowhere, make it a third. Lau's got to hold strong, but he can only get a second kill of the round before the trade is there. Big are all over B, and it's just down to Nuki. A 1-on-3 to keep this game alive. He spots the first, but actually does take him down. Tabs and swivels back and commits to the fight. That might be something he regrets, but God B makes up for it. 16 rounds for the likes of Big. They will take the map of the Mirage. HellRaisers pick in this best of 3 series at a pretty dominant fashion once hitting that T side.